Yo, 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 yo. What's up, everybody? It's your man 3K the Boss, aka Mr. Two Hands Up. Fah Fah. You already know what it is, man. Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back to another Reaper Game Radio Super Nipl Sunday boxing stream. So let's get into it, man. Let's talk some Fah Fah ish. Let's talk some boxing ish, man. So Mike Conlon did exactly what I thought he was going to do last night, which was lose. So, Mike Conlon lost his shot at the WBA regular title to Lee Wood. Devastating knockout in the 12th round. All around amazing fight. It's not too much I can really sprinkle on that other than what it was. War of wills, war of attritions. A guy getting up off the canvas to come back, you know what I'm saying, and win the fight by devastating fashion. But on another note, we're speaking on Michael Conlon, 16-1 fighter that he is. He says that he's okay, and he does want to run it back and he does want a rematch. So that's good. That's great for boxing. That'll be another great fight. But for Lee Woods, what does that really say about him right now being the regular title holder and the fact that Leo Santa Cruz is the full holder of that belt? So I'm sure he would like to go after Leo Santa Cruz, which wouldn't be a problem. And honestly, we know the styles make fights, so that might make for a very good fight. And that's on that note. On another note in boxing, Jamal Charlo versus Jaime Munguia is doing exactly what we thought it was going to do, was fall apart, water hitting Wonder Bread or some shit like that. Apparently, it all boils down to broadcasting rights, and those broadcasting rights fell along. Golden Boy wanted the Zone to be a part of the USA broadcasting rights when the PBC only wanted the Zone to share part of the Mexico. They wanted them to have the Mexico and the UK boxing rights. And all in all, Golden Boy wasn't willing to do that. And when it fell to the deadline, they didn't hear anything back from Golden Boy. But my whole thing is this. It seems like anytime when it comes to Premier Boxing Champions and it comes to fighting their fighters, they have to want to debo the whole A-side theory, in a sense of having Showtime Boxing be, the ones who run the show. Now, I would think, considering what we do know about Premier Boxing Champions, that their whole ploy with Showtime Boxing being a part of everything is solely on maybe ticket flipping, with the little side hustles they have going on with, Al Heyman and Floyd Mayweather being involved in ticket flipping, taking the tickets, buying the tickets, and reselling and flipping those tickets at a higher rate. Who knows? But at the end of the day, fights always fall apart and they always fall through. And that's just an unfortunate event. But literally, I just find it funny that Jamal Charlo is fighting the weakest guy that he could find at 160 pounds. He's never entertained any of the guys that are in his weight class. You don't hear no mentions of Murata. You don't hear no mentions of, Triple G. You don't hear any mentions of any tough, reputable fighters around that weight class, which is unfortunate. But if Jamal keeps dragging his feet like this, nobody's going to care about what Jamal's doing. Quite frankly, if you want to ask me my personal opinion right now, I could give two fucks about Jamal Charlo and Jaime Munguia. Because to be perfectly honest, both of them are mediocre fighters who have done absolutely nothing. And honestly, I give Jaime Munguia a good chance of, putting those offensive combinations and barrages that he has together and really putting hands on him. So, we'll just have to see how that works out. All what's goody? Ronald Finkley, appreciate you with the super chat, bro. He says, Fah Fah, what's good? Reaper respect. Already, champ. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. We back at it again. Y'all already know how we do it. Miguel, what's goody? Yeah, man. So that's just another fight that's falling apart. But honestly, it don't even, at this point, it doesn't even really matter, because if you look at the landscape of boxing right now and how shit is sold up, it's kind of like the Zone owns the spring and the Zone owns the summer currently right now anyway, with the fights they have put together. So really, what difference does it fucking make? Like the Zone got the whole year on lock, man. Somebody can disagree with me if they want to, but I don't know anybody putting on bigger fights than the Zone right now this year. And of course, I would say Top Rank is going to come in a close second because they have the better stable of the fighters. And I mean, when it comes down to World Championship boxing, I mean, what are we about to get? We about to get Ugas. We about to get Ugas versus Errol. Good fight, but to be perfectly honest, we know what the world wants to see, but the world's so tired of it, they don't care about it. And then we got what else? What is it? May 28th? Is it May 28th or April 28th? April or May 28th. Don't Rolly Romero versus Tank Davis fight on Showtime pay-per-view in like May or April? Don't they fight in May or April? It is a good fight. Stylistically, it's a great fight. Take what Juan Montiel does and put that shit by times 10 with Jaime Munguia. Like, I don't know if anybody remember, but I was talking about them two fighting a while ago, and it don't really look as highly, it doesn't look that great in Charlo's favor. And I literally was talking about that and comparing Jaime Munguia to Jamal Charlo as far as skill set and everything is concerned, because, I mean, come on now. Look at what Jamal Charlo did against Juan Montiel. And we don't think that Jaime Munguia can go in there and do a better job? Motherfuckers are crazy. He'll do a way better job. So it makes for a better fight if you ask me. But once again, when it comes to Premier Boxing Champions, you just got to stop dragging your fucking feet, man. Yeah, bro. Rolly versus Tank, May 28th. I knew it was on the 28th. I didn't really remember. Couldn't remember if it was April or May, though. Honestly, I'm kind of interested in that. Now, does it deserve anybody rushing out and putting a whole bunch of money behind it? No, I ain't saying all of that. You know, do what you do to watch the fight, whatever it is that you do. Allegedly, if you're picking up what I'm putting down here. That's all I'm saying. If you're picking up what I'm putting down here, just do whatever you feel like you need to do. Set a little fire outside. Set a little fire in the crib if you want to the stick. You know what I mean? Do whatever you got to do if you want to visualize that fight, because it ain't worth putting no money behind it. But the pressers will be exciting. Hearing what Rolly Romero has to say to this guy will be exciting. And can he get in Tank Davis' head? I really think he can get all the way up in Tank Davis' head and like literally hit him with some skullduggery, like the true definition of skullduggery. And on top of that, it's like if you look at Tank's last performance, Rolly Romero was going to shit all on him based on that shit, based on the Isaac Cruz aspect and everything. And honestly, Tank has been sleeping at the wheel. So can Rolly come in there and crack Tank? I don't know, man. I think Rolly kind of leaves himself susceptible to get uppercutted a lot, though. Like, I don't know. I really don't know how Rolly win that fight unless he's going to just go in that joint and bully the shit out of him. And honestly, on Sports Nation, Rolly Romero said, what did he say? What did Rolly Romero say? He said some real bullshit. He said some shit on, basically what he said on Sports Nation is he doesn't even have a fucking plan for this fight. He doesn't have a fucking plan for this fight. He's just going out there and wing it. So in the words of Rolly Romero, basically what I take from that is I'm just going out there and I'm doing what I usually do. Just throw a bunch of wild shit and just scream a bunch of wild shit while I'm throwing a bunch of wild shit. That's an East Coast fight. It should be comical. If the ticket's cheap, I'm going to check it out, though. Yeah, the ticket prices should be at a nice low to where, you know what I'm saying, the boys can roll out and go catch that thing. You probably can. Honestly, let's be honest here. Who believes that they can catch that fight cheaper going to it than having to pay the pay-per-view price? Does anybody believe that the ticket prices will be cheaper than the pay-per-view? I'm kind of that belief. And if that's the case, I would be more than happy to go pay for that shit. I'd be more than happy to go pay for it. And go, look, I don't think Wilder will take that challenge either. What challenge are we talking about? What challenge are we talking about here? Wilder not taking. These promoters going to make me fuck them up. Man, dude, at this point, it's a mixture of a lot of shit. I don't know if it's just promotion. I don't even know if the PBC realistically entertains any conversation. Excuse me, I got food in my mouth. I don't think PBC realistically entertains any conversation unless you're willing to just go ahead and say, hey, fuck everything that you got going on with your business. If it's not our business and how we want to move contractually within doing our business, we don't give two fucks about what you got going on. No fight is going to take place because from the premier boxing champions that I know, from the current state of affairs in boxing, dating all the way back to Spike TV days. Every fight that they do, they have got to be solely the lead. They've got to be solely the lead when it comes to promotions. And that's corny. It's super corny. And that's why a lot of fights don't happen, because Premier Boxing Champions has to take the helm when it comes to promotional aspects of it, when it comes to TV, broadcasting rights, everything. Because to be perfectly honest, if we consider them a sinking fucking ship, in the sense of they don't put on, they can't be bringing any real money. They're not putting on any fights. They're not willing to do any co-promotions. When they tried it, they failed with Wilder, blah. We know the usual bullshit. I think that they want to, Debo broadcasting rights, have it on Showtime pay-per-view and only go the pay-per-view route, when I'm pretty sure that Golden Boy or whoever would much rather do it in the zone setting. Because let's be honest here, is Charlo versus Munguia a pay-per-view fight? I wouldn't say it is. Charlo don't got a big name. Munguia probably going to bring more to the table than Charlo as far as, the fan base is concerned and people that are willing to spend their money. But if it's a pay-per-view fight, fuck no. But if you make that fight where it's accessible to where people only have to pay $19.99 for it or $20 for it, you're going to get you're going to get a bigger freaking a crowd of viewers who are more than willing to go see and pay for this fight than people who are willing to pay fucking $99, $79 and $99 for Munguia versus Charlo. It's absolutely insane. To be perfectly honest, I'd rather play for Rolly Romero versus Tank Davis. It would be a lot more interesting. But if you ask me out of paying for both of those fights, I wouldn't pay for either one of them. And honestly, like I just said to you guys, I truly believe that the tickets will be cheaper in person than fucking buying it on pay-per-view. No bullshit. Fuck no, but you'll get new subs on the zone. Absolutely. I agree with that. That's exactly what I'm saying. Like, you definitely can pull in new subscribers on the zone, but you're not going to pull in a crowded viewership where people are really going to be wanting to entertain and spend their money on this. To be quite honest, I think if a person coming from, just because when I speak, I like to speak kind of anecdotally, or, where it works in how I view it, or I personally, hypothetically, that's how I prefer to speak on it. So if it comes down to me, say if I was to spend my money on Charlo versus Munguia, right, or any one of us, and we know how fucked up the world is right now. Anybody who lives in the States, you can definitely vouch for me on this, and I'm sure other states that are ingrained in Western culture, you can vouch for me on this as well. Man, motherfucking numbers on inflation behind printed dollar bills is going to fuck up. It's harder to live out this joke. If I spent my money on Charlo versus Munguia, my nigga, I would be worried about if I'm getting my bang for my fucking buck. And for real, I'd be worried about my money that I spent on this shit. And the whole time I'm watching the fight, I'll be like, yo, if this shit ain't what it's supposed to be, I'm going to be mad as fuck after the event, because I could have put my money somewhere else where it fucking mattered. Like, yo, if you buy a pay-per-view, you shouldn't have to have the thought on your mind like, yo, is this event going to be fucking worth it? Should I even be spending my fucking money here or not? Like, a pay-per-view fight isn't something that you should even have to remotely think about. It's something that, like, yo, either you're gonna do it or you're gonna try to put together a way with the people that you fuck with, whether it's $5 a piece, $10 a piece, or whatever, to see the whole motherfucking fight. Period. I'm tired of all these lackluster fucking pay-per-views coming around, and motherfuckers just thinking that niggas is just supposed to just jump the gun and just pull the trigger on spending damn near $100 fucking dollars when I could buy a fucking brand new pair of New Balance, 996s preferably. I could buy a fresh pair of motherfucking New Balance than spending what I spend on these lackluster ass pay-per-views, man. Them shits be duds, bro. Like, I could get weed. I could get, you know what I'm saying? I could throw a little light party, have niggas over my house, entertain whatever's going on, whatever's nationally broadcasted on ESPN or whatever. Now let's put this shit in perspective, fight fans. They want to charge you for a pay-per-view. I don't give a fuck. And Golden Boy clearly ain't with it. They want to charge you for pay-per-view for Munguia versus Charlo, but we getting fucking Shakur Stevenson versus Oscar Valdez on April 30th for free. How does this make sense? How does it make sense? And what does that tell you? I know what it tells me. Mr. T, what's goody? Oh shit, what the New Balance, girl? If you don't know nothing about no New Balance, you bugging. It's some DMV shit. That's some DMV shit. 992s, 998s, 996s, 574s. Shit, 498s, motherfucking New Balance. Got to. Shit, I would definitely get me a motherfucking pair of 996s or 574s before I buy a goddamn Jamal Charlo event. All it, you hear me? You feel me? You feel me? Or shit, another $20, I can get me a fresh pair of Air Ones. All whites preferably. All whites preferably. You know what I mean? Like, how many people would rather spend their money on a pair of shoes, spend their money on some weed, spend their money on something more tangible than buying a fight that more than likely has a chance of disappointing you? That's why we got to get back to the understanding, like, yo, pay-per-view got to be preserved for pay-per-view fights. Like, you don't think Bob Arum sitting back like, yo, I got Shakur Stevenson and I got Oscar Valdez right here, and this is a unification fight. You don't think that man might be thinking he want to put it on pay-per-view? But you know why he wouldn't put it on pay-per-view. He ain't putting it on pay-per-view because he know their names aren't where it should be. And why even, go ahead and try to market something and spend more money on expenses that you shouldn't necessarily have to when you can broadcast it to the world. The fans is going to be thankful. You got more people that's willing to spend their money. Yo, what's the package? Somebody correct me on, somebody enlighten me because I can't remember. It's been a while since I bought it. I got the joint. I just can't remember how much it costs. You know the whole ESPN package you get with ESPN Plus, Hulu. What is it? ESPN Plus, Hulu, and what's the other one you get in the package? All for like $12 or $13.99. Or is it just ESPN and Hulu? I can't remember, but I know it's only like $12 or $13.99. I got that shit. So if Bob Arum is sound enough to go ahead and throw that shit to where the fans can see it, that's bringing in mad subscribers, bro. So the next fight Shakur has, whoever wins, Shakur or Oscar, them motherfuckers is probably going to have a much bigger marketable name than what they would have right now. I'm not saying they might. I can pretty much guarantee that they fucking most certainly will. Gotta keep what we kill. $9.99 ESPN Plus for me. Yeah, that's a fact. I know yeah, that's what it is. It's like 12 or 13 bucks. You get ESPN Plus and you get Hulu. Oh yeah, that's what it is. It's Disney Plus, ESPN Plus, and Hulu, all for $13.99. Now, how many people are going to jump if motherfuckers want to see the Valdez Stevenson fight? How many people wouldn't just go ahead and spend that $13 or that $9 or whatever the case for ESPN Plus, knowing damn well even if the fight isn't as successful as we perceive it to be, you still got 80 million other things to watch. See, you know what I'm saying? Showtime and PBC is so selfish, and it shows how much that they struggling, that they literally try to throw everything on pay-per-view so they don't have to foot the bill themselves. Because I think they put themselves so far on an island that Fox isn't even willing to foot the bill on anything that they're doing anymore. And honestly, Showtime has to have some type of resolve, some type of some type of pullback when it comes to what they spending their money on. Because this shit it's too much. Yeah, it's a ugly game. It's it's ESPN Plus, Disney, and Hulu. Pay-per-view shouldn't be more than 20 or 30, 35-ish. Would rather have a half ounce than a high price pay-per-view. I'm telling you, bro. Look, man, I could buy 5 cases of body armor. Really, I could buy probably about 15 cases of body armor, Fruit Punch and Tropical Punch, and be stocked up for the next fucking 3 months. Then buy one fucking Tank Davis versus Rolly pay-per-view, or one Charlo versus Munguia pay-per-view, or even the thought of it. I could think of so many other better things to do with my money than spend my money on those type of pay-per-views. The only pay-per-views, Anthony Joshua versus Alexander Usyk ain't even a pay-per-view, bro. How does it even make sense? Anthony Joshua versus Alexander Usyk ain't even a pay-per-view. But we got Isaac Cruz, Tank Davis. We got Rolly Romero versus Tank Davis on Showtime pay-per-view. They tried to feed us Charlo versus Munguia, even though that shit fucking fell apart fast as fuck, which I knew it wasn't going to happen. That's why, like, we got to understand, we're not talking about no fights in boxing that realistically aren't going to happen. There's a whole lot of unicorn theories going on in the boxing world right now when it comes to a lot of these so-called fights, unifications, blase, blase, blah. We know them shit are never going to happen. Shout out to Chance Dotson. He says, 2-end salute. That Colin versus Wood fight was fire. Man, that was an amazing fight. Front to back, front to back. Knockouts on both ends. Niggas mixing it up in the pocket. Nobody willing to give an inch. Just a pure war of attrition. But, bro, the way Woods put that man through the ropes, and I mean, I had Woods winning the fight, you know what I'm saying, based off of opposition and just more experience in the ring than, you know what I'm saying, Mike Conlan. Mike Conlan hasn't even fought nobody. I mean, you know, shout out to the kid, you know, accomplished amateur career. I believe he was like a 2015, he won the 2015 World Championships in the amateurs, and I think in 2012 he won the bronze medalist at the games. And then pretty much in his boxing career, I don't know what the hell ESPN was doing with him, but I mean, he won. I believe he became mandatory based off fighting nobody. I mean, he fought nobody to get in that position. And I mean, even in his career, I mean, 16-1. I mean, who has he fought notable that is on his record? Mike Conlan has literally fought nobody. So that's why it was easier for me to make my pick, knowing that Lee Woods was just coming off of a Kanzu knockout with him basically the same way in the same round. Correct me if I'm wrong. Didn't Lee Woods TKO Kanzu in the 12th? Just like, you know what I'm saying, he knocked out Mike Conlan in the 12th? I do believe that was the case. Damn. Boxing God, what's goody, Brody? You gotta reserve pay-per-view solely for super fights, man. And honestly, if you're a consumer of boxing, and especially in the current climate of boxing right now, if you're out this bitch and you see these motherfuckers trying to charge you pay-per-view for these motherfucking fights, man, you got to know it's like, yo, this shit is damn near dead to me, man. Like, this shit got to be a joke. Like, do you know what I'm getting over at the UFC? Do you know what I'm getting watching any other sport that I'm getting from this? And half of the time, like, people aren't even excited about boxing to where it's like, you know, every fight's a good fight. Like, it's a lot of 80-20 shit. So it's like, bro, you can't treat casual fans like that. Like, that's the main thing. You should want to bring in bigger crowds. So honestly, I feel like boxing should be solely focused on expansion. And if you're focused on expansion, then clearly you should just be focused on bringing in more subscription numbers, bringing in more new viewers, more new followers of the sport, and not trying to rape the pockets of thereof. You know what I'm saying? Like don't try to rape the pockets of the fans, like, because you're not going to get nowhere. I had to cancel my ESPN Plus after Crawford versus Porter. These motherfuckers try to charge me twice after buying a pay-per-view, try to charge me an additional $70 bucks, bro. Yeah, that's crazy. That's absolutely crazy. Yeah, I would have flipped shit. No, AJ versus Usyk isn't. But there again, British probably pay a fee for BBC, so it gets televised over UK regular networks. Money gets exchanged regardless. PBC probably going broke. Yeah, PBC probably is going broke. Like they're look, Isaac Cruz versus Tank Davis on a pay-per-view. Does that show motherfuckers making money? Clearly not. Clearly not. If you look like I said, Shakur Stevenson versus Valdez at a subscription fee, and then they're trying to charge you for Rolly Romero and Tank Davis on a pay-per-view. Rolly Romero, look, you can look at Rolly Romero and tell that motherfucker broke. He coming motherfucking to press conferences wearing fucking muskrat furs and no shirts and shit like that. Tank Davis, he dressed like a goddamn degenerate. There's not a city in America, let alone probably the whole damn world, where Tank Davis doesn't owe somebody money for jewelry or a rented fucking car. That doesn't show me that you have money. That doesn't show the fans that you have money. And honestly, there should be some level of fan appreciation when it comes to your viewership. And clearly they have none. They have no appreciation for the fans. And that just shows me how broke you are. You can't go from Spike and burning up 400 million plus to go into Fox and burning up equally about the same amount of money. So literally you've done blown through about, let's say, allegedly or estimate of around 600 to 800 million dollars. You can't blow that type of money, bro, and tell me that you winning out here. You motherfuckers ain't winning. Adrian Broner, like, yo, I just saw a picture of Adrian Broner in the wheelchair, and this motherfucker talking about, yo, don't worry about it, man. I'll be back stronger. I'm like, yo, I don't know what type of shit this dude is on, man, but I don't believe him, dog. I don't believe him. This nigga was really sitting in a wheelchair, but I couldn't figure out what was wrong with dude. Did he break an ankle? Did he break a leg? What happened to him? Does anybody know what happened to Adrian Broner that he's out here publicly in wheelchairs and making headlines? What is going on with AB? AB is the one boxer who's been he's the only dude I know that said that has made his comeback return 4 times in like 3 years. This is the only dude I know has come back to boxing 4 times in 3 years. Like, this dude's retired and come back more than any other fighter that I know in boxing. Been in shape, out of shape, to get back in shape, to get back out of shape type shit. What the fuck is going on with this guy? He clickbaiting, if you ask me. Bro, it's gotta be. It's gotta be. You know what I mean? Like, people do, look, man, the internet is a real fucked up weird thing, and a lot of people do weird shit to, you know, try to stay engaged and try to get people to, you know, follow behind them when dealing with it, man. And literally, I don't care if it's Robert Easter, I don't care if it's Errol Spence, not Terrence Crawford, Tank Davis, any one of these individuals. You know that these dudes are simple enough to do anything for clout, man. Like, boxing has literally moved on and don't give no fucks about these dudes. You know, of course, Errol's still in the mix, but Errol will put himself in a position where boxing don't give a fuck about him too. It's like, bro, you got a lot of good, like, let's be honest, like a lot of the title holders right now, like, you know what I'm saying, I'm content with it. You know what I mean? Like, when I look around at like 122, who's holding the belts? MJ Akhmadaliev and Stephen Fulton. You know what I mean? You go down, you got Naoya Inoue, who else? Naoya Inoue holding the majority of them. And then you got the Filipino Flash holding one. And then who's holding the other? I believe, who is it? Kiko Martinez, I believe? Or is that the wrong division? I'm tripping. Then going down, you got like Mark Maxayo and all of them boys holding belts. So it's just like, shit. Boxing, as far as the champion is concerned, they're in a much better place than what those dudes. So who cares about what those dudes are doing? PBC got AB out here fainting. The crazy thing is, Adrian Broner took to social media and said that Al Heyman still owe him money from the Manny Pacquiao fight. So does that make sense? And, you know, does that make sense to anything that what Logan Paul was saying about Floyd owing him money right now based off of their little exhibition? It kind of does. And like I said, these dudes take the original ticket price out of the mouths of the fans, buy up all the tickets. They have a foreign investor come in, right? Okay, say the fight is set at one price. Then they'll have a foreign fucking investor come in. He'll buy up all of the tickets and then take them shits and throw them shits back out on what's that shit? The little ticket sites and shit like that, Ticketmaster, StubHub, and all of this shit, and try to overcharge you for the price of what they paying out here. Overcharge the fans, excuse me. And then when they bring the flip back in, they break down all of the bread, divvy it up between monks and others, so they could try to cover themselves for their losses, man. Like some real greaseball tactics, man. Like, how the fuck do you ticket scalp? How the fuck do you ticket scalp your own event? Where the fuck do they do that at, man? How do you scalp tickets at your own event, bro? It's at this point, bro, it's like you should find something else to do. You got Floyd Mayweather out here selling fucking jail blasters and shit like that. What is a jail blaster? I remember paintball guns growing up, but I damn sure don't know what a jail blaster is. Except for 154, 135, and 163. Poor fuckery facts. 160, you ain't gonna get shit off the ground. You know what I mean? Like, hold on. Yeah, 160 shit ain't getting off the ground. 154 they making action. 135. What we got going on at 135? Shit, what's up with 122, man? What we got? Leo Santa Cruz, who else? Leo Santa Cruz. Who is it? Leo Santa Cruz, Emmanuel Navarrete. Who else? Shit, I can't even think of that shit off the top of my head. It's a lot of motherfuckers. Middleweight is the run division now. It pretty much is because you know what I'm saying. Like it's nothing really taking place there. Nobody's making nobody's making no noise, and motherfuckers don't want to unify. People are comfortable in the position they in. You know what I'm saying? Like 154, I guess people can say there's momentum there, but you got two guys on the same promotion holding all of the titles. So I mean, that is what it is. Like honestly, I would like to see Terrence Crawford just say forego the 154 title. I mean, forego the 147 title and make a push at 154 and fight shit. And make exercise his rights for Brian Castano after that fight take place, so that way he can go ahead and be in the mix for undisputed at 154. Because I do believe Terrence Crawford's power can carry over to 154 pounds. But as far as 147 is concerned, bro, I don't know how y'all feel, but I couldn't sit around and wait. You know what I'm saying? To see if these dudes or ride out the waves of these dudes' emotion and whatever headlines they're going to put out and talk shit about why the fight isn't going to be made or whatever the case may be. I'd go ahead and move up, exercise my rights, and make them motherfuckers put me in mandatory positions so I can fight for those belts. Because the whole thing about this shit is, bro, motherfuckers get tired of hearing people make excuses, man. Boxing shouldn't be one big fucking game of excuses every time somebody's going to fight, something's going to take place. 168, 175, I don't give a fuck. 168. I call that the fucking 168 is like the soul food plate division, meaning where everybody coming over to granny's house expecting a handout, you know what I'm saying, and expecting money out of pop pockets and shit like that. Like Canelo sitting around that joint at pop at 175 and shit like that, and everybody got their soul food plates out just waiting for Canelo to give them an opportunity. But you got a bunch of dudes sitting around 168 that's hyper talented. None of these motherfuckers want to fight each other, dog. Why is that? Why is that? And I'm tired of people making excuses talking about, oh, well, they said this one said they didn't send an offer. That one said he ain't sent an offer. Bro, y'all can tell me the sky's orange and I can look up and it's blue as shit. It wouldn't matter. Anybody can say anything on either side of the promotion and wouldn't nobody know what the fucking truth is. Like, bro, the truth is in the paperwork. I don't care who saying what and who doing what, bro. This shit is about as fucking trivial as two little kids. One of them hit the other one or something like that, and they run into the fucking parents and be either and they try to figure out which one lying. Don't nobody care. I'm gonna spank both of y'all so I get it right. You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, just sign your name on the paper. Like if Demetrius Andre moving up to 168, and he want to fight, and he fighting Zach Parker, cool. Fight Zach Parker and then have David Benavidez already lined up. I don't want to hear nothing out of Samson Lickowitz mouth about, oh, we need more money to do this because it's a dangerous fight. Bro, you're not going to get the Canelo fight. You're not going to get it. Everybody's sitting around waiting for a Canelo sweepstakes, but these motherfuckers want to show up to the barbecue. They don't got no paper plates. They don't even got no plastic forks. How that shit make sense? Like, bro, you can't even, man. And look, I'm really starting to see where niggas is coming from when it comes to this Canelo situation, bro, because niggas is making me mad when it comes to how niggas be talking about Canelo now. And I'm going to tell y'all why. And y'all know I don't show no favoritism to nobody. But I'm going to tell y'all why it makes me mad. Because it's like these dudes sit around and expect Canelo to have to do something for them. At this point, that's what I truly believe. Because Canelo fighting Dimitri Bivol and ain't nobody giving him no respect for it. Why is that? Like, okay, so if Canelo would have picked Jamal Charlo, which we know Jamal Charlo is a tune-up right now when Jamel's sitting in front of his belt and shit in his house talking all of this shit about, bro, you need to fight my brother, blah, 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 blah. Somebody who young, black, hyper-talented. Bro, I don't give a fuck if you black. Just because you black, it don't make you skillful. Clearly looking at your brother, we know that. Clearly looking at you, Jamel, we know that. Just because you black don't make you highly skilled, because neither one of y'all can move. Y'all get caught with more uppercuts and more hooks than anybody I've ever seen in my damn life, and your legs get noodly, and your legs turn rubber noodles. And y'all sitting up here talking all this Canelo gas shit. See, the thing is, these dudes are only willing to, look, let's talk about boxing and let's be 100% real. Half of these cowards is only willing to lose to the highest bidder. Am I saying something wrong? Tell me these boxers, tell me half of these boxers aren't, dude, they're not willing to lose. They are only willing to lose to the highest bidder. So basically what they tell me is we play prostitutes, whoever pull out the most paper. We only willing to let go our laws unless you're willing to pay a stupid amount of money for it. PBC literally sits around with their fighters and the ones who are half decent and the ones who are half exceptional, and they sit around and they just like, they sit around. Al Heyman says absolutely nothing. But he's this majestic figure in the boxing world that everybody says thank you to, but nobody ever sees him. He's kind of like Kaiser Sose. He's like Santa Claus. You don't know if he's real or not, but on the 25th gift show up at your door, but you don't even know it's your mom's pulling him out the trunk, but you saying thank you to the wrong motherfuckers. This dude, Al Heyman, legit sits around with half his exceptional fighters and wait for somebody to make the call to where it's the point where it gets desperate enough or that fighter wants to achieve his goals and makes his dream a reality enough to where he's willing to sell or forego a huge amount of his purse so he can get paid, and so they can try to be like, let's try to make up for some of these, you know what I'm saying, these financial errors we made. Like, nah, bro. Like, them dudes are the Charlos, prostitutes, period. Period. They only want to sell their belt to the highest bidder, and I'm tired of these dudes sitting around acting like they willing to compete with everybody in their weight class, when history would show you that they've never been willing to do that. You got Jermell Charlo talking about he don't want Terrence Crawford to come to 154. Why is that? Because you're scared of his presence there. Talking about, oh, he need to go and mess with Errol. Errol is the best welterweight at 147. Well, why has Errol never went out his way to prove it? Fucking crackhead. Errol too focused on kissing Yellow Beezy, a.k.a. Winnie the Pooh, in the mouth. Tell me that nigga Yellow Beezy don't look like Winnie the Pooh. Cut the bullshit. These dudes, look, put a WBC Ring Magazine IBF title around this nigga waist and some motherfucking high heels, nigga, and a whole bunch of glitter, and send Jermell Charlo down the ring, or send Jermell Charlo down the ring that way, because that's what they embody. 154 to 160 pound prostitutes, dudes who have never done anything. It's kind of sad when you watch a fucking giant go and pick on little kids. Hey, bro, it'd be like one of us just walking up in the goddamn elementary school yard and shit like that, see a kid on the monkey bars, just push him to the ground, see another kid playing dodgeball, palm that shit with one hand when he throws that shit in the air, underhand, and then you just take that shit with an overhand right and just throw that shit and mush them all in the face. Like, who would be okay with this? All of the dudes, Jamal is part of the 154, and you got the audacity to say Canelo's name. Bro, at the end of the day, like, yo, these dudes don't even fight 4 times a year. You got the biggest fighter in the sport out this joint fighting 4 times a year, mushing killers in the mouth. Pause. Like, mushing straight killers. Like, yo, putting hands on straight killers, hooking killers in the mouth, not afraid to fight champion after champion after champion. And these dudes ain't even willing to fight, top 10 contender after top 15 contender. But Canelo's name is always coming up. Jesus Christ, man. I'm sick of it, man. They clearly are beta. They're the definition of beta. Like, if there was a new word for beta, they would be all of those things, man. Like, for real, only thing these dudes need to do, like, when it comes to the Charlo twins in boxing, bro, like, the definition of the Charlo twins in boxing, if you could draw it out in description without saying anything, it would be a motherfucking man sitting with his legs crossed and shit with a whole bunch of glitter on, with some pink bubble gum, with a whole bubble blown out in front of his motherfucking face and shit, sitting with a goddamn bag on and a skirt while he, you know what I'm saying, sitting at the, you know what I'm saying, while he's sitting in a chair, some shit like that. Cause the nigga's a whole cross dresser, man. Like y'all niggas is see, these niggas is real life cross dressers. And I'm gonna tell y'all why. Because outside of the ring, these niggas got baritone voices. They talking real gangster. When it come to getting inside of the ring, these niggas' voices get real soft. They get real humble, and they like, I gotta talk to Al. Like the purses come out, the heels come out when they talking, you know what I'm saying? When they start talking to you know what I'm saying, post-fight and shit like that, when they looking regular, I gotta talk to Al. Bet, Fah Fah. They get hands put on them. I don't know about a rematch right now. I gotta talk to Al. The fuck out of here, man. The fuck out of here, man. Fucking churro. That's why I always call them niggas the churro twins. Cause them niggas is monster sweet, bro. Them niggas is monster doughy soft, you know, cinnamon and sugar sweet, B. Niggas don't want to do nothing real. And then niggas got the audacity living in Texas acting like they making real money out here. Like, stop it, bro. Stop it, man. We see y'all fight persons. We know what y'all get. Y'all niggas is one big family dinner away from being bankrupt. Y'all niggas is one family barbecue away from being bankrupt. Y'all niggas is one electric slide away from motherfucking falling into poverty, nigga. Them niggas is one electric slide away from poverty, nigga. Come on, man. Somebody tell me I'm lying, bro. Somebody tell me I'm lying. These niggas, these goofy ass niggas wearing blonde hair. Look, man, gangsters don't do that shit, man. Tough guys don't do that shit. Be wearing blonde hair and shit like that. You show me one tough motherfucker running around out here with blonde hair and shit. And that shit ain't natural. I don't know one. Look, and you know how that's going to happen, Mr. T? I believe that's going to happen on behalf of the isn't that fight against Carlos Adames for the WBC title eliminator? And then they're going to force Charlo into the purse bid, and then he ain't going to have no choice but to fight on his own. So, you know, I'm pretty sure that I feel you. And I'm in full agreement 100% that that's going to happen. And that's the type of shit that you got to do to force these bitch-ass niggas up off the strip and force them in the ring. You got to back them into a corner. It's like, nigga, you been taking the pimp. Oh, you been out here motherfucking selling that pussy without giving me my cut. Oh, motherfucker. Nah, motherfucker. Might as well have bull rings in their noses. Boy, I'm telling you, my girl got a bull ring in her nose right now. You know what I'm saying? These niggas is definitely looking real pussy. Might as well go ahead and add one. Shout out to BJ Ben. Marvel's in the chat with a flamethrower right now, and I'm here for it. For sure, she keep a flamethrower, especially for them churro bitches. Especially for them childish churro bitches. She stay on them niggas' neck. I promise you. He was holding Jamal Charlo balls in the interview and gripping Earl. Hey, but you can't make this shit up. Yo, I seen this nigga cry in person. I seen this nigga cry in person at a press conference and say, yo, I don't like losing. You know what I'm saying? I ain't no loser. I don't even play video games because I don't like to lose. I'm about to choke on my body. I literally watched this dude sit by his brother, and he's supposed to be the tougher one. He's the one with the better resume. And this dude straight bust out in tears talking about, I don't even like to play PlayStation because I don't like to lose. Then the next post conference, I should edit up I did edit a video and do that, but I should do it again. He said, Tony, I play PlayStation now. I just bought one. I would have smacked the shit out of his ass right there. I'd have been like, boy, shut the fuck up. You replayed that shit and see how much of a girl you look like. Now all of a sudden you try to switch your whole style up. Boy, stop. Get the fuck out of here. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? Yo, I'm telling you. I'm telling you, boy, you look at them dudes' headlines, man. I'm telling you, it's a whole lot of stress going on the top of their head, man. There's a whole lot of stress up there. These dudes, they ain't gonna look. The Charlos ain't even gonna be around that long, but their headlines might leave the game even quicker than that. You keep bleaching that shit if you want to. I ain't playing. They the type dudes that you catch wearing your panties and saying because it feel comfortable and shit. All standing in your bedroom and all standing by your vanity and shit. One hand on your vanity and shit while they stretching their leg out and shit, trying to show you that they got your heels on and shit. And be like, these are kind of cute. These are kind of cute. I'm wearing these today. I'm wearing these tonight. Yo, man, look. Oh, so they go. What you trying to say? What you trying to say, Ronald? They rocking that Super Saiyan bleach. Clorox got a whole Super Saiyan bleach going on. They bleach their hair and shit. They feel like they going Super Saiyan on niggas. Jesus Christ. Can we for once and for all call Crawford a true boogeyman? I've never seen a more avoided fighter. No top fighter wants to fight this dude. Bro, how is it like, and this, what part of the game is this too, BJ? How we exist in a world where Terrence Crawford is legit a boogeyman, legit a, 140-pound undisputed fighter, legit three-weight world champion, and people have the audacity to sit up there and act like this dude hasn't done enough. Goes up there and everybody says, yo, bro, Bud isn't going to stop Sean. Like, let's go back. Let's really do this. Let's literally go back there. Everybody, except myself, sat up there and said that there's no way that Bud Crawford stopped Sean Porter. Sean Porter, you know what I mean? He rough and rugged. He ain't never been stopped, blah, blah, blah. He make fights hard for everybody. What does Bud go out there and do? Knocks him out at will, plays with him the entire fight, and just completely slumps this man, destroys him, destroys Jeff Horn, where Manny Pacquiao struggled with him, struggled with Jeff Horn. What does Bud do? Destroy him. Nobody gives him his respect. It's a trend to where people don't want to give Bud his respect because if they do, they know what it makes their fighters look like. They are completely dismissive of it, and they will not mention his name, and they keep it amongst the whispers and the alleyways of boxing. You want to know why? Because they don't want any attention brought on their fighters on why they should be fighting this guy. It's a shame. From 154 pounds, you already got Jamel throwing in his steak wanting to duck that dude. You know what I'm saying? And then throwing Errol in front of his face. And then in every other division, you got him talking crazy wanting to duck this guy. But everybody know the best pound-for-pound fighter in the world is Terrence Crawford. The more accomplished fighter in the world is Canelo Alvarez. But the toughest fighter and the pound-for-pound best fighter in the world is Terrence Crawford. And there ain't no debating that. There ain't no debating that. Nobody on this side of earth is willing to touch that work. Nobody. But everybody always make excuses for these other guys. You can pick and choose when you want to be frustrated. People pick and choose when they want to be frustrated. They pick and choose when they want to, air their frustration on this guy. Or when there's a guy that's coming up that might be frustrating to him, let's throw him, let's mention Bud Crawford's name so he can deal with another opponent that I don't necessarily want to deal with. It's bullshit to me. If anything, Terrence Crawford should be exalted for all of the things that he's done. Now, since winning boxing, can we talk about Canelo's greatness? And how great Canelo is, but in the same token, we don't even mention any of the things that Terrence Crawford has done and give him his respect. So Bud Crawford, everything Bud Crawford has done, you have to mention in a past tense. But if I talk about Canelo's career and Canelo's accomplished or what Canelo hasn't accomplished, we can bring that up and speak about that in its entirety. You see the double standards? And I got love for Canelo because Canelo was doing everything that I've ever wanted to see him do right now. So if he goes out here and sensationalizes his Bivol win, bro, y'all already know what time it is on Reaper Gang Radio. I've constantly said it. But my whole thing is the frustrations I get when it comes to the double standards, when it comes to other boxers. It's like when it comes to Bud Crawford, anything he's accomplished before 147, it don't matter. When it comes to Canelo Alvarez, everything that he's accomplished before, 175, 168, all of those things matter. So all I'm saying is, why can't that dude get the same respect? And why ain't nobody putting no energy on these dudes the same way that people put energy on other dudes to make these dudes want to fight them? Like, people be picking and choosing, man. I had the membership of channel yesterday. I want a front row seat. See a body bag. See body bag these Spence clowns, man. And that's what I'm saying, bro. It's like, and the sad thing is, people don't even know how bad Errol gonna get his ass whooped on my birthday. People don't even know it. Like, bro, I'm telling you, the world works in vibrations and energy, Reaper Gang, and I'm telling you, it's a reason why Ugas versus goddamn Errol Spence is happening on my birthday. Niggas gonna see that man get knocked the fuck out. These dudes always want to, you know what I'm saying? Like, yo, it's like, but I guess I don't know, man. I guess the world is filled with cowards, and you know what I'm saying? Like, cowards like representing boxing all the wrong way. So, if that's the case, I guess people put all their energy behind cowards. They don't really want to see real fighters fight. And honestly, I don't think real promoters really want real fighters back in the place where they really fighting one another. They don't want to see that shit. These motherfuckers, like, yo, they trying to find, I think somewhere in boxing, they trying to find a thin line between, you know what I'm saying, where we can make this shit kind of like wrestling meets real life, kind of like the NFL, where it's like, okay, we 60% real, but we 40% fake too. Crawford got a stomach made of titanium. That body snatcher shit Spence be on, gonna get him knocked out. Smooth, clean. Man, look, if all you can do is fight in a straight line, you always gonna lose with Bud. If all you can do is come forward and fight in a straight line, you always gonna lose with Bud Crawford. You can't just have one plan for that type of fighter. And for fighters with that type of skill set, the Canelo Alvarez of the world, the Terrence Crawfords of the world, you know what I mean? You can't have that one-dimensional skill set and think you're gonna go out there and perform. I think people campaign more for paychecks than they do to really be great out here. Kind of like how Jamel Charlo trying to do for his brother right now, but we know that his brother turned down a freaking 8-figure offer when it came to fighting Canelo Alvarez already. He was already offered upwards of $10 to $12 million to fight that man, and he didn't want any parts of it. But now that he has something going on, everybody wants to talk this fucking racial bullshit, talking about Canelo only wants to fight European white guys. Well, okay, let's talk about this. Let's put this in perspective. Since Canelo only wants to fight white guys, and people only perceive it that way, how many of those same individuals has Jamal Charlo fought? Has Jamal Charlo ever fought Islam Lara? No. Has motherfucking Demetrius Andrade ever fought Lara? No. Has Jamal Charlo ever fought Danny Jacobs? No. Has Andrade ever fought Danny Jacobs? No. Has motherfucking any of those dudes ever? Hello? So all I'm saying is, if we're going to talk this shit or try to say certain people are doing certain things, show me when you doing the same shit. Because for real, it's like I can't even defend Demetrius Andrade. It's like, my nigga, all you got is Liam Williams on your fucking resume. Let's be honest here. You talking all this Canelo shit, and this nigga ready to fight Dimitri Bivol, and you still talking about, oh, he want to fight, or he trying to just get off easy and fight the Russian. My nigga, who the fuck are you fighting? Who are you fighting? You clearly ducked Jonabek. And don't tell me now all of a sudden when Jonabek get mandatory, you want to run up to 168 and talk about, bro, who's fought more mandatories than me? The fuck out of here. The fuck out of here. You clearly ducked that man. And I'm saying you could beat him. You could beat him, but you know it's a tough fight. And on some business shit, it wasn't worth the risk, so you ran up there to Zach Parker. All y'all niggas is chasing ghosts, but ain't nobody chasing greatness. Who is fighting one another? But everybody's sitting around for the Canelo sweepstakes. The fuck out of here. The fuck out of here. I want to hear that bullshit. Don't matter. Jamal Charlo, Demetrius Andre, any one of them. Triple G, he been sitting around twiddling thumbs with his motherfucking fingers up his ass. Nigga waiting until retirement until he get a pension check from the zone before he fucking fight Murata or do anything. Oh, Canelo want my call. Oh shit, I'm set for September. And fuck the zone too for not doing more for Demetrius. So I'm saying it all go around the board. But at the end of the day, when you got the power and you got the names, you gotta look at the other individuals. It's like, yo, where the fuck is your clout? Where are your names? Who have you fought? You could be as great as you want to be in my fucking mind. You could be as great as you want to be in my fucking mind. But that don't necessarily mean it translate on paper in the boxing ring. Who the hell have you fought? Niggas ain't fought nobody. Niggas ain't fought nobody. And I told niggas, I ain't gonna lie, I ain't gonna sugarcoat shit, I ain't gonna hold no hands for no nigga that I like. But let's be honest here, this nigga ain't done one fucking thing with his career. He got 2 vacant titles with a whole bunch of nobodies on his record. The nigga has a fucking resume full of John Does. Am I lying? Just tell me when I'm lying here. Fucking David Benavidez. He needs more money to fight Demetrius Andre than they would get fighting Canelo because of the risk. Then he feels as though he's entitled to a Canelo fight. But this dude got a resume full of John Does on his record. Tell me I'm lying. I mean, a little bit better than Demetrius Andre, but still a bunch of John Does on his record. And if you really wanted to fight Canelo, you should have said, I'll say no to drugs, instead of saying cocaine is a hell of a drug. I'm just saying, it's always funny with the timing of this shit and the way they talk about this shit, but then when it come down to each other, oh, numbers is too high, niggas is doing this, motherfuckers is doing that. Yo, I don't want to hear the bullshit. I don't want to hear the bullshit. The one fighter who the biggest fighter in the world is making more moves than both of y'all niggas put together. And once again, from Canelo's 2019 to 2021 is more than fucking what Jamal Charlo, Demetrius Andre, and David Benavidez ever done the entirety of their goddamn careers. There's somebody or anybody in this fucking chat tell me how that shit is even acceptable. So the whole time, all these niggas was being blocked from fucking being ambitious and having a name on their record that counts. I can't believe that. I can't believe that. Because none of these dudes have made a case for themselves to say, yo, they deserve to fight them, other than the fact that we think based on eye test that they're great fighters. That doesn't do it for me in the boxing world. Yeah, on some anecdotal, on some personal, you know what I'm saying? Look at me shit. It might mean something based on how I feel, but my feelings don't mean 2 shits. The proof and the fact of the matter is, motherfuckers ain't did no real dancing with no real competition, man. I ain't seen Chris Brown versus Usher. The fuck? Chris Brown versus Usher. When the fuck is Chris Brown and Usher gonna have their dance on? Niggas ain't getting busy, man. It's fucking insane. So if I can literally sit here wholehearted, based on all fact, and say that Canelo has fought Sergey Kovalev, Callum Smith, Avani Yildirim, Caleb Plant, and Billy Joe Saunders, not in that order, closely, but not in that order. And these dudes have collectively fought fucking nobody. Who? Who have they fought? Who have they fought? And hold on, this is only 2019 to present day. Who have they fought? Who have they fought? So what are we criticizing what Canelo was doing for? So so Charlo and Benavidez was the better choice in the matter? Was the more lucrative fights in the matter? Please somebody tell me how. in a business aspect and from a competition aspect, somebody tell me how Canelo's making a bad choice here. What if these dudes collectively done, and I'm giving people the option of speaking on 3 fucking resumes. 3 resumes. Not 1, but 3. What have they done? They've done a collective of fucking nothing. Then Demetrius Andre, he actually had the opportunity to fight Canelo. You know what this motherfucker said with his big head? The checks is too big over at the zone, clearly. You want to know what this motherfucker said? This motherfucker said, I will not fight fucking Canelo Alvarez in the closet. I will not fight Canelo Alvarez without fucking fans. I want the whole world to see me whoop his ass. Don't they gotta watch you on TV? What is he talking about? He want to see the whole world. He want the whole world to see him whoop his ass. Don't they have to watch you on TV? Whether they're watching you in the flesh or they're visualizing you from their favorite flat screens at home. Do people not get to see you or not? So you would turn down a life-changing opportunity when you've got a whole deflated flat tire of a fucking record and have the nerve to say you won't fight the biggest fucking fighter in boxing because you want the whole world to see him whoop your ass. But the whole world would still see you whoop his ass anyway. This shit don't make no sense. Somebody can't tell me that shit ain't spoiled. Or the checks over in the zone spoiled it or spoiled his fucking brain cells. I'm just saying. It's some funny shit to me. Someone needs to invent the Let's Group together and fight some incredible club. They need to. They need to motherfucking go to a whole motherfucking They need to start a 12-step program for niggas with lackluster resumes. Everybody need to go in there, motherfucker, and raise their hand. The first step is always admitting that you have a fucking problem. And the problem is not fighting the motherfucker. Start a whole 12-step program for motherfuckers who ain't fighting nobody. And look, today, I must say this. Look, I don't care whose fault it is. So if anybody got a problem with the Andre shit, cool. I'm here. If any got a problem with the David Benavidez shit, cool. I'm here. Or Jamal, cool. I am here. But somebody tell me where the fuck I'm lying. And when the hell they gonna step up? Because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter whose fault it is. Whose fault is it gonna be when your career is over and you've got a collective of nobodies on your fucking record? Are you going to point fingers at every Tom, Dick, and Harry? And how does that help your motherfucking son or anybody's son when they grow up? If you do a whole bunch of finger pointing and saying it's this person's fault, that person's fault, it's the politics of boxing that got in the way. God damn it, don't take me back to the motherfucking early fucking 40s through the goddamn 80s, bro. And talk about the real politics of boxing and how motherfucking real motherfuckers was really being stopped from doing real big dog shit. And y'all talking about these little prima donna ass motherfucking sanded nail, you know what I'm saying, sanding manicure nail ass problems. But then blame Canelo, all that it's Canelo fault. Motherfucker, you know what I'm saying? And anything they do, man, I'm fighting this bum ass nigga because of Canelo. The fuck out of here. You fighting a bum ass nigga because you've been fighting a collective of bum ass niggas. When is the bum shit gonna stop? I agree, resume is dookie, but please what? He was literally on Chicken Talk. Not even a couple weeks ago, saying how fucking Canelo is fighting motherfucking easy ass Russians and shit like that. So please what? Please tell me, how does this man go through fucking 2 divisions and not fight one fucking reputable top 10 soul? Somebody please tell me that. If the mandatory is the best and it's supposed to be the best in your fucking sanctioning body, and that's all you got, okay, cool. But when have you reached out voluntarily and done more than that? Your motherfucking man ain't done shit. And you can't point blame at every other motherfucking fighter in existence in that fucking division. Like that's the only reason why his career has had no progress. That's bullshit. That's bullshit. You can't tell me this nigga couldn't have found one better fighter than anybody he's fighting right now and still pointing fingers at a guy who has been fighting nothing but champion after champion after champion and is about to fight the fucking youngest and arguably the strongest and toughest test at 175 pounds after he just cleaned out 168. So Demetrius Andre don't have a leg to fucking stand on when it comes to talking about Canelo. No different than David Benavidez does or Jamal Charlo. None of these motherfuckers ain't done shit. And it comes to a point where Arlen, we gotta say this. I like Demetrius Andre, but we gotta say to him, when the fuck are you gonna get with your peers, or when are you gonna get off your motherfucking ass and take some initiative and fight somebody we can say, okay, we respect that fight. He's not willing, he's not doing it. He's not willing to do it. And he acting like it's going to sit and fall in his lap. And the one tough fight that came his way, that motherfucker ran to 168. Because I promise you, did he or did he not just say with his father, we're not going to keep moving up in weight. We are not going to keep moving up in weight. We at a weight right now that fits us, and that's where we stand. So why is he at 168 right now then? Because that motherfucker did not want to fight Johnny back. Business-wise, it might have made better sense, or business-wise, it might have made fucking, it'll fucked him over if he would have got his ass beat by Buddy McGirt Killer. Now all of a sudden you want to move and jump rank. Why didn't you jump rank when that motherfucker was going through Billy Joe Saunders, Avani Yildirim, and all of them? Because you wasn't fighting nothing but a bunch of spare tires then. We're not going to sit up here and act like motherfucker Demetrius Andre no angel, because let's look, the difference between him and Crawford is Crawford done cleaned out a whole division. Crawford done fought plenty of niggas that we can say we respect. Demetrius Andre, goddamn. I mean a goddamn. Nigga ain't fought no motherfucking body. Nobody. When I say nobody, I need a King Sweat. A nobody, baby. And the band keep playing on. Come on, man. Stop fucking with me, yo. I don't care how much motherfuckers like a dude. I'm not gonna sit up here and sugarcoat that shit for you because you like them. This the shit niggas need to hear, man. People always do that shit. Like this dude legit don't got nobody on his resume. Nobody. And niggas is still talking there, Canelo. Come on, yo. Let's just keep it honest, man. That's all I'm saying. Let's just keep it honest, man. You just gotta keep it honest. Brian Harkin, what's good, my brother? We just gotta keep it going, man. We just gotta be honest. Shit. Ain't nobody telling on, you know what I'm saying? Didn't that man say, like, look, so you gotta put you putting your foot in your mouth, and clearly you ducked Johnny back. You ducked him. And that was the fight I wanted to see. But what did you do? How did you fight Johnny back? Oh, he on Chicken Talk. This nigga switched up. Man, how many times am I gonna keep fighting all these mandatories? Mandatory at the mandatory at the mandatory. My nigga, you ready to fight? Nigga, you ready to fight a mandatory to be a mandatory. So how the fuck you gonna make that excuse on Chicken Talk? Hold up. Let's put that in perspective too. You said all you've ever done is fight mandatory. But how are you going to go to 168 to fight a mandatory to become a fucking mandatory? You ducked him. You ducked him. This shit is crazy, man. That shit is crazy to me, dog. He ain't even thinking before he talk. Man, how many mandatories I'm going to fight? I'm going 168 to fight a mandatory right now. And I mean, it's a slick move. It's a slick little move. And I'm going to tell you why it's a slick move. It's a slick move because he know can't nobody really say shit because it's Canelo. Because you're going up in another weight. You're going to fight fucking Canelo Alvarez. You're trying to get to the position to fight Canelo Alvarez, but can't nobody say anything. But you've always been positioned to make these moves, and you never wanted to make them. The nigga's never going to fight you. So what's this nigga's legacy going to be? Is he going to run around chasing ghosts? Is that what he going to do? Demetrius, the Ghostbuster Andre. Something strange in your neighborhood. Who you gonna call? Boo Boo Andre. Come on, man. Come on, my guys. Andre is a good fighter. He could have put a resume together with worthy clout, cut his own path and stayed active as a champion, not concern himself for anyone's career. That's what I'm saying, bro. It's like everybody, like, look, you can have something like, bro, there could be somebody there that makes no sense. And I mean, I'm sending shots in the zone too, because I understand you got the biggest fighters in the world on your stable, and you're working with them. So you gotta make things work in their favor. But at the same time, too, what have you done for Demetrius Andre since he's been there? You haven't brought that man one decent fight. You haven't brought that man one big fight. You passed them shits on to other people around on the stable. So what does that say about Demetrius Andre? If Demetrius Andre feels slighted in some way, you got to make moves. Apparently, Zach Parker was the last fight on his contract. So after that shit, position yourself to make moves. Where are you going to move to put yourself in a better situation for a better fight? It might be better for you to go over to PBC for, you know what I'm saying, for at least 1 or 2 fights, or freelance that shit. But what you're doing right now is not making no sense. And I'm sorry, bro. I don't believe in your motherfucker. I don't believe in the shit that you're crying about, because you put your foot in your mouth with your contradictions. Like no nigga. And look, let me make this clear too. Nobody should have anything disrespectful to say about an individual who just cleaned out a whole division and is going to 175 again after they done fought at 175, and they fighting literally the toughest guy that's up there, arguably the toughest guy that's up there, and a world champion. So I don't see how anybody can criticize this path. My thing is, you have to look at the paths of those who are critical of it. And what have they done? That's my whole thing. If we're going to criticize people and we're going to stay on this path of shitting on this guy and shitting on this guy, but then sit up there and say, oh, this guy's boogeyman. But look, it's one thing for us to call Terrence Bud Crawford a boogeyman. You want to know why? He's proved it. He's proved it in very dominating fashions where you don't have to question it. It's never up for question. You don't have to say anything about it. It has been proven. Now, when you talk about Demetrius Andre, what about Demetrius Andre says he's a boogeyman? What about it? What is Demetrius Andre proving for us to sit up here and give him this pass and let him sit up on this throne with his fucking accolades? And let's not get it twisted. Both of his belts are vacant, so it's not like he fought anybody of any real significance to get those 2 titles. What has Demetrius Andre done for us to call him a boogeyman? Other than we can think it. Because he has the style. He has a certain skill set. What has he done? Because we've seen great fighters who have been in the ring and had certain names on their record go in the ring who maybe haven't had all of the experience with all of the styles or whatever, go in that bitch and get made to look regular. When it comes to championship rounds, when it comes to facing adversity in the ring. What adversity has Demetrius Andre faced in the ring, against what name, when, where, and how? Who did it? Who did he do it to? Pause. Who's he fought? And nobody's going to chalk up several years of activity going back to shit even when James Kirkland was laid off for a couple of years, going back that far. Going back to Demetrius Andre with the fades and the waves, and tell me that there's plenty of reasons why he shouldn't have jack shit on his record. The difference between him and Terrence is this. Terrence has done several things to make that case. Demetrius Andre, somebody wake me up when we find one. Because we know it's not there. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Right. High risk, low rewards. In a lot of situations, Demetrius Andre is a high risk, low reward. That's why he's got to make himself. That's why I said Demetrius Andre might have to move like Hagler a little bit. He's going to have to make a case for himself to get there. And however he does that, in the same way David Benavidez, because David Benavidez is high risk, low reward as well. That's why if they want to make themselves high risk, high reward, if they fought one another, those problems will be alleviated. If David Benavidez, Charlo, and Andre got in the mix, I don't think people understand like how big the conversations would be around 168 to 175 pounds right then. Those two divisions would have more appeal than any other divisions in boxing. Any other division in boxing. Look, 147 to 160, 147 to 154 couldn't even, 135, excuse me, to 147 wouldn't even, hold a candle to what them boys got going on up there. Because the talent, the activity, and the athleticism all matches. Like, you can mix up those dudes and get some amazing fights. And nobody is saying these dudes just need to mix up to make an excuse for Canelo to do whatever he's doing. I have been very critical of Canelo the entirety of running Reaper Gang Radio, but I've been critical of him through pure honesty, coming from my perspective. So I'm not going to shit on Canelo right now when Canelo is doing some God tier shit in boxing. I'm going to shit on the niggas who ain't doing God tier shit, because the motherfuckers. Because here's the biggest problem for me. The dude who's the biggest star in boxing shouldn't be doing more construction than the motherfuckers who don't even got a name in the shit. How does that make sense? Like expectations have got to be, expectations have got to be greater. Andre wanted to fight both, though. I'm not saying this is what I'm saying. This is what I said, sweetheart. I said I don't give a fuck about pointing fingers. I'm not pointing fingers. I'm not concerned about 160. I'm not concerned about that at all. I'm not concerned about what's going on at 168, what the current climate is with this person and that person. The point is, they got to make it happen. Whether it's Samson Lekowitz and goddamn Eddie Hearn, whether it's, David Benavidez. David Benavidez already said he's willing to take the fight. He seems like Andre is one of the only other individuals who's willing to make the fight, just as Andre said he's willing to make the fight. So then there should be no problem after Zach Parker for David Benavidez and Andre to take place, so they could do that WBC, WBA, hold on. I think it's WBO, WBC Eliminator, I think it is. Whatever the case may be. They shouldn't have no problem being able to do that. So all I'm saying is, we got to get past whose fault it is or whose fault it isn't, because the thing is, Canelo's whole next year is locked up. It's locked up. So Zach Parker, okay, you going up another weight class, you fighting him, cool. But my whole thing is, it's got to be a name to go with that shit, bro. You got to keep campaigning for names and activities. My whole thing is, we got to stop worrying about these other motherfuckers and start worrying about the current crop of fighters who are there, who's the best names out there, and how can we get them in the ring? And how can I boost my activity so I can get to the point where I can say truly that Demetrius Andre is special, and I can stop hearing Demetrius Andre stop talking in third person and shit like this motherfucker straight narcissist. So I can stop hearing Demetrius Andre say, nobody wants to fight Demetrius Andre. Like, nigga, we talking to you. We know it's you. Stop that third person shit. Y'all got to understand, he's the real champion 160 because all the champions dug him. Look, I never said he wasn't the real champion at 160 pounds. I never said that Demetrius Andre wasn't a duck fighter by certain individuals. But this is what I'm saying, Ronald. Could you criticize Canelo for his career path right now? And what about Demetrius Andre that's more deadly than Dimitri Bivol? Somebody please explain that to me. Because Demetrius Andre is not more deadly than Dimitri Bivol. So based on what I'm saying right now is, it's not like Canelo is taking on an opponent who is lesser than Demetrius Andre or lesser than David Benavidez or any one of those individuals. As a matter of fact, I think he'll beat the brakes off both of them niggas. Both of them niggas. So realistically, it's like Dimitri Bivol and his skill set, like, it's like, yo, there's no room to cuff. There's no room to cuff for Andre to what Andre got going on. And Andre put his foot in his mouth. And if Andre is tough, nigga, fight somebody who tough. Stop making excuses. Like, the excuses have got to stop. Because Canelo doing some shit right now that where it's like, yo, who is Demetrius? Why is Demetrius Andre even matter? What is his name even coming up for? Mentioning this nigga, mentioning the same breath with this nigga. He's fighting Dimitri Bivol. a 175 world champion, a straight up killer. Like, get on that level. You feel what I'm saying? Like, look, I'm sorry. Bivol's a fucking dog. A dog. A dog. So when it come to me knowing that this nigga's fighting a dog, I can't dog him. You can't say shit about it. Errol Spencer's a savage, no broken bones. No, I'm not saying that you're not giving Canelo his respect, but all I'm speaking to is this. I'm speaking in the sense of all of the things Canelo has accomplished in his career, even for the little bit of criticism that I lended towards him for saying in his biggest moments he's come up short. When I look at Canelo right now, I looked at him in the sense of I want to see him entertain somebody who really, that you've got to be a certain type of individual to want to get up and get out of bed and go and fight this guy and risk everything that you've built to take this type of fight. Bivol is that type of fight. So when I know he's entertaining that type of fight, there's nothing that anybody could say about Demetrius Andre, David Benavidez, Jamal Charlo, or any one of those dudes because they don't even matter. And honestly, he's fighting a tougher individual than all three of them. So it's almost like, why do these dudes even matter? And why is in the conversation all of these great, talented fighters wanting to engage with one another and fight each other? And if they do that, then therefore, by the time that shit is over with, shit, that Canelo fight is going to be there. That legacy fight is going to be there. But y'all dudes can't even get that under control. And I'm tired of people always saying that the politics. Nah, somebody's got to be willing or more than capable to move a mountain there. If it's in your way. People just got to stop making excuses for everything, man. Like, yo, the dude is fighting arguably one of the toughest dudes he possibly can get his hands on. And you got to be a certain type of fighter to want to do that. So it's like one of these dudes going to be a certain type of fighter to have activity to fight 4 times a year, to fight dudes that are, to fight threatening opponents or world champion after world champion. I'm not seeing it. So therefore, it's like, yo, can't nobody mention Canelo like Canelo taking a misstep in his career right now. Canelo taking the best step in his career. Because what is motherfuckers going to say when Canelo go to 170? Because he started on his campaign of cleaning out 175. What if Joe Smith is next? Or Artur Beterbiev is next? Then what? Motherfuckers still going to criticize what he doing? Like, this shit just knows no end, man. He doing the biggest shit in boxing. Like, Demetrius Andre don't equal to the biggest shit in boxing. He just don't. David Benavidez doesn't equal up to the biggest shit in boxing. Because once again, Jamal Charlo doesn't as well. Because all of their resumes equal dog shit. 3 dudes haven't accomplished what one man has done in 2 years of his career. That's all I'm saying. Let's talk about the even year of boxing. Tank versus Rolly per Ellaby. So what? Ellaby talking real spicy about the Tank versus Rolly event? Like, it's what is he saying? It's like the biggest event in boxing? Because we know that fucking event. That's chitlin. Look, that's chitlin circuit status right there. That is the definition of chitlin circuit status. It doesn't get weaker than that. When you got Tank Davis versus Rolly Romero, we are truly talking like, yo, what are they going to pass out at the event? Are they going to give out styrofoam plates with candy yams and that shit? Candy yams and cornbread and fucking 2 pieces of fucking fried codfish and little packets of hot sauce? Is that what they're going to give out at the event? Because that's what a Tank versus Rolly event looked like to me. They're going to be having soul food fucking catering at the fucking event. You know what I mean? They're going to have Kool-Aid. They're going to have big-ass pictures of Kool-Aid fucking that they roll down the aisle and distribute to people in fucking styrofoam cups. And they're going to make you write your name on it because if you lose it, you got to buy another one for a goddamn $1. They gonna have they gonna be giving out potato salad. They're gonna be giving out potato salad, paper plates, and stuffed ham and shit. Fried crab cakes at the event. Oh my God, this shit is terrible. Rolly Romero versus Tank Davis on pay-per-view. If he beats Bivol and goes at the Benavidez, all that scared of David narrative dies because Jose Benavidez Sr. is terrified of the idea of putting David in the ring with Benavidez. It's facts. That's a fact. Like, bro, at the end of the day, it's just like, bro, all of the narratives need to cease to exist anyway. I'm just like, bro, he just cleaned out a division. Like, you can't say anything about him cleaning out the division, regardless whether we consider it the weakest division or not. David Benavidez pulled himself out of that fucking conversation. So if David Benavidez was still in that conversation, we would be able to say, like, okay, if he still wasn't willing to go through with it because David was there and he had the belt, then we'd be able to have that conversation. But David wasn't there. So we can't talk about shit that didn't happen. And I feel like this, like he fighting Bivol. So how can a nigga say, I don't think Canelo Alvarez is scared of David Benavidez or scared of Jamal Charlo or even scared of Demetrius Andre when you fighting Dimitri Bivol. I'm just saying. Because I feel like Dimitri Bivol has been the one the whole 175 have been playing keep away from. The whole 175. Nigga said, Rolly straight ass. He is straight. Rolly Romero is straight ass though. I ain't even gonna lie. I'm not even gonna hold you. The dude is ass, man. Like Wakanda forever. Wakanda forever. Wakanda forever. I'll be on Twitter tripping. Tank versus Rolly sold out MSG on pay-per-view May 28th. Hold up, son. Hold up, son. Did this nigga say Rolly versus Tank sold out MSG? He said that? He said that? That motherfucker. Look, man, I guarantee if I went on StubHub right now, you could buy that fight. And if they sold out MSG, it's for the reasons we were saying earlier. James Jameson, salute. It's for the reasons we were saying earlier, bro. He sold out MSG because they already bought up all of the tickets to reflip them shits on StubHub and shit, on some fraud shit like they was doing fucking on Maymac. Or like they did for freaking Logan Paul versus Mayweather. These dudes literally buy up all of the tickets and resell them at a higher rate to the fans. Bro, Premier Boxing Champions is definitely like the black boxing promotion in fucking sports. They act just like it. Man, we could take this shit, flip this shit, add some cut on it, baby, and sell it for a little more. They treating the fucking boxing tickets like cocaine. They adding cut to the shit, and they trying to up the price for a lower value drug. Like, come on, son. Y'all trying to up the price, and y'all just threw cut on the shit, B. They're still the same coke, diluted. You got your motherfucking baby, you got your aspirin and all that shit cut up in it. Y'all trying to sell this shit at a high price now. The fuck out of here. The fuck out of here. The fuck out of here. LB also believes Tanks versus Rolly is a bigger fight than Stevenson versus Valdez. Oh yeah? Oh yeah? Then put that shit on the same day then, you big fucking fair to least, you big fucking nose having ass bitch. The nigga, look, I always said this nigga nose looked like the fucking symbol on a Saints helmet, B. Like, come on, man. Coach, come on, coach. Come on, man. Come on, man. Put that fight on the same day as Valdez versus Stevenson. Same time and everything. And let's lock the fuck in, nigga. And let's see if that fight's bigger then. If you think it's bigger. How the fuck is it big? Like, yo, he should feel like the biggest jerk off and jackass motherfucker already taking up 80% of the oxygen in every room you gotta stand in. You in that bitch like a goddamn fish sitting on the sidewalk trying to breathe and shit. Book, 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 book. Leonard, this is unfair. Everybody else gotta breathe too, Leonard. What are you talking about? Fuck out of here. Fuck out of here, man. This nigga's fucking drunk, dude. This nigga's fucking drunk, dude. This nigga's fucking drunk, dude. Like, how the fuck he really think that their fight? How the fuck he really think that his fight bigger than fucking Valdez versus fucking Stevenson? Man, put that shit on the same day then, you lying ass bitch. Put that shit. I want that shit on the same goddamn day. I don't want to hear shit about it. You're a fucking lie. This nigga, like, yo, niggas always trying to talk up. Oh, I forgot I got some fucking candy, lollipops in this joint. Niggas is always trying to talk up what they got going on in here, son. Like, come on, son. Come on, son. My bad, y'all. I'm opening up some motherfucking, like, ice pops and shit. Come on, son. Like, how you gonna sit up here and act like, and this what pissed me off. How the fuck do he got the nerve to act like what they doing is in any way more motherfucker is in any way bigger than what Top Rank got going on? Dog, these motherfuckers don't got nothing. There's nothing they can ever do in boxing that'll be bigger than Top Rank. They don't even got one big star in their stable. Not one. They don't have one big star on their stable. Who is the biggest star on Premier Boxing Champions? I will wait. Hello? Hello? Is anyone out there? Hello? I'm looking for somebody to talk to. Can somebody tell me who's the star on Premier Boxing Champions? Who's the marquee guy over there? And I don't want to hear about the jail blasting guy. So who is he? I'd like to know. Somebody tell me. Somebody inform me. Somebody let me know. Somebody enlighten me. Who the hell is the big star over there? Where's the big show? Somebody point me in a direction. I think I smell soul food. What is it? Candy yams? Oh, is it Leonard? Is it Al? Is it Floyd? Niggas over there flipping soul food dinners again? I get it. I get it. I don't want to hear about the jail blasting guy. Who's the biggest star? Who's the biggest star on PBC? Who is? Upcoming right now, who's the biggest guy they got? Who the fuck is selling over there? You got this nigga fighting Ninja Kicks. I don't even know the name. I think the nigga name is Ninja Kicks. You got this nigga fighting Ninja Kicks on my... He fighting Ninja Kicks in Dubai on top of a fucking helipad. Who? Who's the biggest star on Premier Boxing Champions? Who holding that weight? Who got the work? Who has the work, ladies and gentlemen? Somebody tell me. I'm waiting. Who's their biggest star? Who sells over who can average over 500,000 pay-per-views on Premier Boxing Champions? Who can do it? Who can move over 500,000 in pay-per-view sales on Premier Boxing Champions? Who can do it? Canelo can't be beat. Remember, he was down against Kovalev. If Bivol can use his range, outwork him and not get caught. That may happen on Canelo, too calm and sharp. Hey, I'm picking Bivol this fight. And it's not because anything against Canelo, but it's Bivol's skill set. Bivol gonna make it hell for him. You know what I'm saying? So I like Bivol. I like Bivol movement. I like his range, his combinations, his output, and how, you know what I'm saying? He got a real high IQ and understanding where he is, where his feet are in the ring at all times. You know what I'm saying? Like, a nigga's like a fucking, he like a samurai in that joint. But who the fuck is the biggest star in Premier Boxing Champions? Who? Who the fuck can do 500,000? Who can do that? Better yet, who can do 400? Who can average 400,000 over there? Canelo versus Bivol is 1,000% a 50-50 fight. No cap. That nigga said King Wilder is the GOAT. That nigga literally might be a GOAT right now too, boxing Marcy. You know he over in fucking South America tripping. That motherfucker real life might think he a GOAT right now. Exactly. Nobody. Nobody. PBC is trash. Devin Haney the biggest on PBC. They on stars with hydrogen helium collecting space. It's too little of concentration by volume. Maybe up round dwarves, not stars because PBC ain't got no life for the shit in the first place. Well spoken. It's actually a scientific fact. If you add illegal strings, King Wilder averaged about 10 million views per fight. Yo, that yo, if you took in all his fucking streams, right? Illegally, that motherfucker probably would be the biggest. That just shows you how many people don't fuck with that dude. It's like, yo, I'm watching because I want to see if he gonna get his ass whooped. That's some funny shit. But all right, guys, I gotta wrap this up. Let me get up out of here. We're just gonna leave people with something to think about. When they talk about Andre, when they try to shit on Canelo, when they talk about premier boxing champions, how great they are to boxing, we would know for a fact that these motherfuckers don't have one person, not one. They don't have one person who can average 500,000 fucking buys. And they were hoping for Canelo to come through and save the day again and take their 2-fight deal. No, motherfucker. You have nobody who wants to lock in and do a deal with you. Your motherfucking walls stink. Your floor is sticky. Your walls stink. Don't nobody want to stand in your closet ass fucking dressing rooms and shit like that. They know goddamn well. Motherfuckers is tired of eating candy yams and potato salad and fried chicken. The niggas is tired of Texas Pete hot sauce. Motherfuckers want something a little bit more elegant at their table than that. Your walls stink. Fact of the matter fact is, the PBC's floors are sticky as fuck. Their walls stink. The dressing rooms are small. Ain't no stars there. The chitlin circuit is real. So as we always say at the end of this shit, it costs you nothing to pay a nigga no mind. DAZN got 2022 on lock. It's a fact. Top rank right behind them. So respect to everybody coming through, man. Hope y'all have a great day. And always, as we always say at the end of this shit, remember, y'all motherfuckers are stars. So go out and shine like one. And Demetrius Andre, I got love for you. I really do. But I just got to keep it real, man. Same for you, Dave Benavidez. Got love for you. Got to keep it real. Jamal Charlo, I don't give a fuck if you get hit by a car. Respect.